hopes for a breakthrough in push to end Afghanistan's grueling conflict appear to be slipping away as the country is reeling under constant bloodshed by Taliban. The surge in violence and contentious prisoner swap between the Afghan government and the Taliban has created a fresh stumbling block for the upcoming Intra-Afghan talks. However, the United States is striving hard to embark on these negotiations and has already begun fulfilling its commitments to withdraw US troops from the war-torn nation. A report.
Taliban has not put a halt to an all-out offensive on the battleground. Dozens of Afghan security forces and civilians are being killed on a daily basis. Continuing with this bloody wave of violence, the Taliban fighters clashed with security forces following a major car bomb blast in a government compound in northern Afghanistan, killing at least 11 Afghan intelligence workers and wounding more than 60 others, including at least 43 civilians. Insurgents detonated a car bomb at the entrance of the provincial headquarters of Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security in Embark, the capital of Samangan province. The attacks claimed by the Taliban group opened the way for fighters to enter the intelligence agency complex, where they battled the Afghan forces for hours. Zabihullah Mujahid, a Taliban spokesman, confirmed that the insurgent group was behind the bombing.
سه تن از مهاجمین که یکی از این مسئولیت محتربه ما داشته و دو تن از این داخل ریاست امنیت ملی میشن. تعداد 11 تن از کارمندا و افسرهای ریاست امنیت ملی در این حادثه شهید شدند و 63 تن از هموطنان ما که شامل 15 نفر کارمندای ریاست امنیت ملی میشه و 16 تن هم کارمندای ریاست شاروالی ایوک میشه و بقیه‌اش افراد ملکی هستند که زخم برداشتند.
Taliban also attacked security force checkpoints around the country overnight, killing 5 personnel in Balkh province, 7 in the northeastern province of Badakhshan, 14 in northern Kunduz, and 4 in the central province of Parwan. A recently released data by the National Security Council of Afghanistan reveals that more than 23 civilians were killed and 43 were wounded in the Taliban violence in just 1 week. Figures by the National Security Council also indicate that 16 provinces of the country have witnessed 284 attacks by the Taliban in the last 7 days. Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani in a statement condemned these attacks and called on the Taliban to stop fighting and killing Afghans, warning that escalating violence and war would damage progress in the peace process.
Their aim is somehow down the line the Americans should be made to understand that it is pointless fighting in Afghanistan. They will go away, and after they go away, the Taliban believe it will be child's play to get rid of the Afghan government. And this is the attitude that the Taliban has been adopting for a very long period of time. Let me tell you, all the observers who observe the Taliban in these talks say the Taliban have a tendency to pretend that the Afghan representatives are not there at all. They try to give the feeling that the Afghan government is a puppet government and they are the real powers of Afghanistan. And this is an attitude that they have maintained very well, and this is a psychological ploy which unfortunately the United States seems to be falling for.
The progress on the intra-Afghan talks for the mutual peace agreement has been at a standstill due to complications with a prisoner swap that was laid out as a precondition for negotiations. The American deal with the Taliban called for the release of up to 5,000 Taliban prisoners in return for 1,000 Afghan security forces held by the insurgents. However, Afghan authorities have refused to release 592 Taliban prisoners who are deemed dangerous and are accused of serious crimes. The Taliban has said that the group will not endorse the intra-Afghan talks unless the Afghan government releases its 5,000 prisoners from the jails.
This is a very low risk strategy that the Taliban is playing, that you take up arms against the government, you kill government soldiers, if you get caught you are taken prisoner of war, and after some time you negotiate, you get released, and again you start fighting. After one or two exchanges, it became clear to the Afghan government that this was a strategy that was not working at all, and that is why they are now reluctant to release Taliban prisoners. But the manner in which this entire debate has been structured, it basically has been structured to show that Ashraf Ghani is being rigid, that this is a reasonable request that he is not acceding to.
The US Defense Department announced that the US has closed 5 military bases and has reduced the size of its troops stationed in the region to 8,600 as part of the agreement with the Taliban in February. Zalmay Khalilzad, the special representative for Afghanistan reconciliation, informed in his tweet that the US has worked hard to carry out the first phase of its commitments under the agreement, including reducing forces and departing 5 bases. Although he condemned the Samangan attack, saying that it contradicts the insurgents' pledge and that Afghans continue to die in large numbers for no reason, but he noted that no Americans has lost her life in Taliban attacks. The remaining number of US troops might come to absolute zero in the coming months. However, both Kabul and Washington are unsure and uncomfortable over the question whether peace will definitely return to the war-torn country once the US army departs. And this constant bloodshed by the Taliban has once again deepened the growing feelings of disillusionment with the peace process and fears for the future of Afghanistan.